Ableton just quietly dropped one of its biggest updates ever, and it's freaking insane. So what Ableton Extensions actually are is they're a free add-on tool that basically allows you to build whatever you want right into Ableton Live. So unlike Max for Live, you're limited to the Max developing software and its capabilities. With this actually gives you access to code stuff within Ableton Live, which is absolutely crazy. So this opens the door to connect Ableton to OpenAI, to control Ableton in any way. It basically opens the door for anything within Ableton is now possible, basically. It's crazy. Today we're gonna hop in and talk a little bit about extensions and take a look at some of the ones I was able to build just today alone since it came out. So hopefully you can get a gist of the power and the capabilities of extensions and what we can kind of expect to see. So if you're a beta member, you can access it. If not, I'm guessing they'll probably drop it within the next couple months or so. All these extensions are free in the link below. It's free download, go ahead and grab it. In order to access extensions, we're just gonna right click, and then we're going to see this menu down here that says extensions. Now, depending on the area we have selected, that's going to determine what extensions we have access. So for instance, this is an audio timeline. So we're going to have extensions that apply to audio clips. If we come over here and right click on the MIDI and go to extensions, we're going to have all of the ones that pertain to MIDI clips. So these are all the ones that I created today. So let's take a look at some of them and how they work. So here's a little MIDI drum clip we've made. Now, if we right click on the MIDI clip and go to extensions, let's try velocity ramp. Now you can see we have this nice ramp coming up here. Now maybe let's try swing 16ths, random color, add ghost notes, octave stack. So you might be thinking, how is this different than MIDI effects or MIDI tools? And the answer is same thing with Max for Live, that to where we're no longer limited to what we're able to do with the tools that Ableton gives us. We're able to literally create anything. So anything you can think of, we can make into a extension. And the cool part about this is if this came out 5 years ago, you would need to know how to code to use it. But because we have Codex and we have Claude and we have all these tools, you don't really need to know how to code. You can just really tell it what you want to do, have it write the code, and then create the extension. So that's the beauty in this tool is now that everybody's a developer and a coder, the world is really our oyster in Ableton. So let's come up with a random idea and create an extension for it right here in real time. So let's go over to Claude right here, Claude Code, and I'm going to say, create me a Ableton extension that changes all the MIDI notes to different, or use all of the colors until every one is used, and then reuse them. So I went ahead and built it for us, and I restarted it so it could fire up. As many chops as we put in this MIDI. I'm gonna right click, extensions, here it is, MIDI Rainbow, that's what it named it. And now as you can see, it did exactly what we had. It made everyone a different color. So hopefully this just goes to show like the power that you have of literally anything you can think of, you can now do in Ableton. So let's try something besides a MIDI generating clip. So let's say we have a bunch of different tracks here. This one I really like. If we right click one of them, auto color clips by track type. So let's see how good this works. Let's put some drums on. So we got a bunch of random tracks going on here. I'm just going to right click, go to extensions, auto color clips by track type. So basically what it determined is these clips are all drums, which is true. We have our kick, we have our snare, we have a synth, but it's kind of like a perk, and then another snare, or our hat, and then a snare up here. Now let's put in a synth and see what it does with that. So it determined that our synth was going to be blue. Let's put some vocals in here. So it's totally consistent. So it's keeping these ones red because it determined that drums are red. It's determining vocals are green and that melodies are blue. And we have our bass up here that's purple. Really cool little feature. So we can kind of easily cruise up and down and see what our different elements are. So as you can see, like we were talking about, it's different from like MIDI effects or Max for Live devices in that we can map these to anything. So we can map these to pertain to track titles and track information, or MIDI clips or audio clips, or really whatever we want. So the possibilities are really endless. So we can just go into Codex or Claude and be like, hey, we want to create an extension that turns our kicks red, our synths blue, and puts a reverb on our vocals. So literally whatever it is, we can create an extension for that. So the cool part about this is you can really create something that works for your workflow. So if there's something you do every time, we can now basically create an automation in Ableton to do that. So total game-changing feature. I'm going to be creating a bunch of extensions. I'm going to be cooking with this pretty hard, trying to get ahead of the curve. So if there's anything you guys want built or want to see, let me know in the comments. Make sure to go grab these in the link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.